Post 2 here in just a little bit. Post State lost game number 1 as they fell 3-2 to Watertown after a 3-run homer from Mason Morris. The only tally that they had, only 3 hits they gave up in the game for Post State, but Jack Van Camp took the loss and throwing all 6 innings and giving up just those 3 hits, and one of them being that home run as Watertown picked up their 13th win of the season. This Fargo Post 2 team is pretty darn good. They were the national runners-up last year in the World Series back in 2019 and have not really missed a beat. They've lost just 2 games so far this year, although one of those 2 games have been to the Minot Vistas, which Post State won 6-3 against them on Saturday. So it's not out of the realm that this Post State team can't hang with Fargo and maybe knock off this Fargo team for the third time this season, and to get back to 10 games over 500 before they face Mitchell and Sturgis tomorrow. 4 o'clock and 8:30 will be the start times, or right around there tomorrow evening, as Post State will play that triangular against Mitchell and Sturgis. The Mitchell and Sturgis will play that middle game of the 3, as Post State will play those and have then the 4th of July weekend off, and then we'll be back on Monday to take on Sioux Falls East and Minot in a triangular, and then face Minot on Tuesday as well. Bennett Dean's going to be the man on the mound here in game number 2 for Post State. We've seen him throw several times in the last week, and he has done a magnificent job, especially on Friday when he threw a complete game against East Grand Forks in the 3-1 win. And he's going to have a tough test against this team here against Fargo Post 2. As we look at Bennett Dean's stats here from the pitching wise, as Bennett Dean is 2-1 on the season. He's got a 5.35 ERA, but again, he gave up just one earned run in the 3-1 win against East Grand Forks on Friday. A whip of 1.94, and he is going to be into his 16th inning of work from the mound. They're going to go through his 18th inning, of work on the mound, starting here in the top of the first inning. They're going to be the home team, Post State, as they will be the South Dakota team here in Watertown, taking on Fargo Post 2. As we go through the starting lineups, first for the visiting Fargo Post 2, Zach Sandy will be the leading off, playing left field. Tyler Thrash is the second baseman, batting second. Zach Culvers is the shortstop, batting third. Cole Hage is the DH, batting fourth. Jason Dew is the right fielder, batting fifth. Caden Headley is the center fielder, batting sixth. Mike Holquist is the third baseman, batting seventh. Luke Khaled is the first baseman, batting eighth. And Danny Boutan is the catcher, batting ninth for Fargo Post 2. Andrew Lynn is on the mound for Fargo. And for Pierre, it will be Andrew Coverdale leading things off, playing second base. Garrett Stout will also bat second and play short. Andy Gordon's playing first base again. He's batting third. River Iverson's in the cleanup spot, playing left field. The DH is McGuire Rasky. He will make his return. He has not played since he injured his arm, which requires Tommy John surgery. He has not played since then. When he threw just one inning, and Bennett Dean came in and threw very well in his outing after Rasky got hurt against the runner post 22 Royal, or post 307 Royals. And then he will now DH and bat fifth here in this ball game. It'll be then Matt Lust to bat sixth and play center field. Kate Hinkle bats seventh and catch. Jack Van Camp is out in right field, batting eighth, and Lincoln Keenels will be the third baseman as he bats ninth for Post 8. 3:30 is our scheduled start time. We're just a couple minutes away from about 5 minutes away from that, so we'll step aside for 3 minutes and come back with more of the pregame of game number 2. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to Watertown, as we are getting set for Game 2, as Post State and Fargo will meet. As we might get started a little bit past 3:30 here. Fargo is still warming up a little bit and have not taken infield yet. Would expect them to take some IO before we get this second game underway. Post State is at 16-7 on the year as they try to get back to 10 games over 500. They just haven't been able to get past that 500, that 10-game 500 mark since they have got to 14-4. Actually, they did get to 15-4, so they have been 11 games over 500, but they are now 2-3 in their last 5 ball games as they split the tournament out in Minot and then dropped the first one here in a game that was important. It was a very important game. This one not so much important as it was in the past game against Watertown, because Post State was looking for a win to help their seat points. Here, a win against Fargo, while it will help the confidence and will be big for them going throughout the rest of the season, does not help them in the standings one bit. It doesn't hurt them if they end up losing this game either. But for Post State, they have got to find a way to get a win, though, against Fargo, who are coming in at 23-2, have won 11 in a row, and they are not showing any signs of slowing down since they were the runners-up in the World Series last year out in North Carolina after winning the regional in Sioux Falls. And they actually dropped the first game in the regional last year and came back all the way back to win. They dropped their first game in the World Series and came all the way back to play in the championship and ended up losing the championship game. But they didn't start out the first game in each of their the final 2 tournaments very well, but they sure ended in a good spot. Just they probably would rather have won the World Series than being a team that got second in the World Series. Post State again will go with Bennett Dean on the mound. He will go against Andrew Lynn for Fargo, as Dean will try and pick up his 3rd win on the mound. He went to all 7 innings on Friday, and that 3-1 win over East Grand Forks. And then he is a big reason why they had a chance going into that final game to still make the championship. Even though they're 1-2, they end up beating Minot, winning 6-3 and going 2-2 in the tournament, but did not advance to the championship. East Grand Forks actually went to the championship game, and Mandan actually ended up beating East Grand Forks, who had beat them in the first game of the tournament, came back and won to advance to win the championship of the Minot, the Highlands Performance Tournament in Minot. Minot will be in town on Monday, as they will face Minot and Sioux Falls East on Monday, and then will be taking on Minot on Tuesday, as Post State will look for those wins, especially against Sioux Falls East. That will help their record in their seed point standings. And then Mitchell and Sturgis again tomorrow will be at Hyde Stadium, and then at Hyde Stadium Monday and Tuesday. And then after that, Monday and Tuesday, they'll be off Wednesday, Thursday, into the Dakota Classic on Friday. I've not seen a tournament bracket for the Dakota Classic yet, as the new Dakota Classic that will be played next weekend, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. And then to the Veterans Classic. After that, a trip to Harrisburg in between those 2 tournaments. And then to the Veterans Classic, which will be Thursday through Sunday out in Rapid City. That's going to be a fun tournament with some really good competition. Post 22 is in the same pool, and we'll be playing all our games at the Fitz out in Rapid City. Outside of potentially on Sunday, could go over to Post 320's home field. We're getting set here for the ball game between Post 8 and Fargo Post 2. We'll step aside. We'll come back here. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball. Today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Three, I guess. We're not getting started at 3:30. What's that? Yeah, I was expecting us to get started here at 3:30, but I think it's going to be more like 3:45 now. Yeah. Actually, give me just keep it on commercial break until I come back. I'll let you know when I'm back. All right, Spence, whenever we can have this one be the last break. As we welcome you back here to Watertown, as we are getting set for the second game for Pierre and Fargo Post 2, as this is the first game for Fargo. They are just now taking IO, so it'll be just a little bit longer before we get this game started. So we'll be right around 3:45 when we get this game underway. Post 8 will be the home team here in the second game. Bennett Dean is on the mound for Post 8. Fargo throw Andrew Lynn. You look back to last year, and these two teams met once, and it was I shouldn't say an easy win, but Fargo really played well against this Post 8 team as they scored. They outscored them 12-0 in 4 innings. They beat Post 8 to advance to the championship game. As River Iverson was the man that threw, he gave up 8 earned runs. It was 12 runs in the game for Fargo Post 2. Cole Hage is in the starting lineup again. I believe, although Zach Sandy he is also in the lineup. And you look at some of the other names, but Thrash was on the team last year, did not play in the game, but he is in the lineup here to start this ball game. Andrew Lynn actually pitched against Post 8. He threw 1 inning, a scoreless inning. He got 2 strikeouts in that inning of work in the 4th against Post 8 to advance to the championship, which they won at the Dakota Classic. They went all the way, won the regional tournament, and got second place in the World Series out in North Carolina last year. Of course, this will be the one and only time that we see Fargo Post 2, because no matter if Pierre and Fargo both win the state championship, their seasons will come to an end. There are not going to be a regional or World Series here for the Legion season this year. Actually, North Dakota playing under Senior Babe Ruth rules this year. And what would have been interesting, and if South Dakota would have done it too, and I think North Dakota is not actually going to. They're playing under the Senior Babe Ruth rules, but they're not going to go to a regional tournament either. I believe that Senior Babe Ruth still having they're still scheduling the regional and World Series like they normally would. I don't know if they're going to actually end up having it, or if they might have already canceled it. But if Post 8 would have been playing under those rules, like the state of South Dakota have been playing under those rules and playing for a chance to continue their season into the regional, they would have won the state tournament. They would have gone to Charleston, Missouri for the regional, which is just about 40 minutes south of my hometown, which would have been, for me, it would have been a lot of fun to have a chance to go to Hill House Park in Charleston, Missouri. Played many games. I actually won a state championship there to fill some time. My playing days, won a state championship at Charleston, Missouri. But that is all for naught and will not happen this year, as obviously will not happen, as Post 8 will play in a modified state tournament here at the end of the month, as they hope to be one of the top 8 teams at least to host the first round. And if they do host that first round, they hope then to be one of the top 4 teams. That if they win the first round, they will guarantee themselves a spot to host the second round and a chance to play in that 4-team state tournament. It's going to be a best of 3, one weekend, followed by another weekend with a best of 3, and then the third weekend will be the state tournament. So somewhat of similar format that you might see in college baseball, in terms of a little bit smaller than college baseball in terms of that first round for college baseball is 4 teams playing a double elimination tournament. But then it turns into then a super regional, which is a best of 3 between just 2 teams. And then the World Series will be that 4-team tournament, which is a double elimination tournament that we'll see at the highest seed. So if Post 8 is one of the top 4 seeds, and then they are the highest seed remaining when they get to the state tournament, you can see Post 8 play at Hyde Stadium all 3 weekends, all 3 rounds. But if they're not one of the top 8, not one of the top 4, they'll have to go on the road at some point, or not the top seed, overall seed remaining. They will have to go on the road at some point to try and win that state championship. Still a long way from now. Still 3 weeks to go before we get anywhere near that spot. But Post 8 will look to get back to 10 games over 500 if they can get a win against Fargo Post 2 here this afternoon, as they take on this Fargo team, and will be the home team here at Watertown facing Fargo. Their IO is complete. Post State will be taking the field here momentarily. We're going to step aside for 2 minutes, come back with first pitch. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Well, we're 15 minutes behind schedule, as also I thought that Pierre was going to be the home team because they're the South Dakota team, but instead Fargo is going to be the home team, so they have taken the field, and we're just about set here for baseball in game 2 of the day as we go through the Pierre starting lineup. Andrew Coverdale lead things off. He's playing second base. Garrett Stout is the shortstop batting at second. Andy Gordon's the first baseman in the number 3 spot. River Iverson will bat fourth, playing left field. McGuire Rasky's a DH batting fifth. Matt Lusk will bat sixth and be the center fielder. Number 7 hitter is Kate Hinkle, is the catcher. Jack Van Camp will play right field and bat eighth, and Lincoln Keenels will bat ninth and be the third baseman here for Post State. They're going to go against Andrew Lynn, who is on the mound, the tall right-hander. He threw 1 inning against Post State last year. And these two teams, they will somewhat remember each other. And for Fargo Post 2, they have a more of a probably better memory of Post State in terms of the lineup's almost the exact same as what it was last year, outside of Lincoln Keenels being that lineup. But for Fargo, there's not a whole lot of guys that are the same. Haig and Sandy will both be in that lineup that returned. Thrash was on the team but did not play. So those 3 of the top 4 hitters are back in the lineup for Fargo from last season. As Zach Sandy went 1 for 1. Haig went 2 for 3 with 5 runs driven in. He hit a home run in the ball game against River Iverson. As we are just about set here for baseball. In game 2 of the doubleheader for Post State, Fargo will play Watertown after this game is concluded. Watertown will look to go 2-0. Post State trying to go 1-1 as we are set for baseball. The visitors here in the second game, and Coach White's not, he's okay with being the visiting team because if you win, you got to throw all 7 innings anyway. Well, if you end up not winning, well, you only have to throw the 6 innings outside of going into extras. But
now to play for.
So you save some pitching by not having to throw all 7 innings. Of course, you're playing to win, and you expect to win, but you have to throw all 7 innings anyway, so why not be the visitors and get the bat started early. Andrew Coverdale will lead things off. He stepped to the plate. We're just about set here for baseball. As the first pitch from Andrew Lynn, he's going to work from the stretch here to start the ball game. First pitch is over for strike one, and we are underway here at 3:48. So over an hour after the ball game got over in game one, the 0-1 pitch is fouled back and is now 0-2. Game got over at 2:42, and an hour and 6 minutes later, we get the second game started. Count is 0-2 here to Andrew Coverdale. Coverdale in game one went 2 for 4. He got his final two at bats were the two hits that he recorded. Lynn will come set from the stretch. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Thrash. The throw to first is in time. The leadoff man is retired here to open up the ball game. Defensively for Fargo, it is Zach Sandy out in the left field. Caden Headley is the center fielder batting second. Jason Dew is in right field. It is Holquist at third, Kluvers at short, Thrash at second, Khaled is at first, and Boutain is behind the plate with Andrew Lynn, who retired. The leadoff hitter will now face Garrett Stout. First pitch to Stout is at the letters for strike one. Stout went 1 for 4 in game one. He singled in the fifth inning. Was retired on 2 flyouts to left field. And also struck out looking. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's over, and now 0-2. Hit up the inside part of the plate. And 0-2 count here to the number 2 hitter. Andy Gordon will bat third. River Iverson's in the cleanup spot. Followed by McGuire Rasky, Matt Lusk, Cade Hinkle, Jack Van Camp, and Lincoln Keenholz. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Stout launches it to right field as it's going to hang up in the air, and the right fielder will circle over it, and Dew will make the catch for the second outs, and there's now 2 away. That one, when it left the bat, thought maybe that had a chance to get out of here. Mason Morris shot in game one. Looked like that probably had more of a chance to hang up in the air, but that one got just a little bit under it too much. So here's Andy Gordon. Gordon 3 for 4 in game one. His out was a productive one, was an RBI. First pitch is fouled down the third base line. Yeah, Gordon had 3 hits in the game, and that lone time he was retired drove in a run, which at that point made it a 2-0 lead for Post State. That 3-run homer by Morris was the difference in the ball game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Gordon swings and misses a pitch upstairs, and it's now 0-2. This Post 2 team is good. Fargo Post 2 they're a very good team. 23-2 on the season. Haven't missed a beat from last year. Lynn will come set. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, 1-2. From South Dakota, people refer to Fargo the Post 22 of North Dakota. The lore and the expectations of Fargo and the history of this Fargo team can sometimes beat you before you even walk on the field. 1-2's in the dirt, now 2-2. That is what makes them such a dangerous team, as even when they're down, they still beat a lot of teams by just having the name Fargo Post 2. Especially after going to the World Series championship game last year. Becomes even more so. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Gordon will look at it at the knees for strike 3, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. Half an inning complete here at Watertown. Pierre held scoreless. Fargo coming to the plates. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to the bottom of the first inning, no runs, no hits, no errors in that top of the first for Post State. Zach Sandy will lead things off for Fargo, followed by Tyler Thrash, the second baseman. Zach Culvers is the number 3 hitter. Cole Haig is the cleanup hitter, the DH here in game number 2. Jason Dew is the right fielder batting 5th. Caden Headley is the center fielder batting 6th. Mike Holquist is the third baseman batting 7th. Luke Khaled is the first baseman batting 8th, and Danny Boutain is the catcher as he bats 9th. As they will face Bennett Dean here for Post State, trying to recreate what he had on Friday in the complete game, a 3-1 win for Post State over East Grand Forks. First pitch is popped up on the left side. Coming in on is Iverson. He will glide underneath it, and there's one pitch and one out. Here to open up the bottom of the first inning. Here's Tyler Thrash.
Tyler Thrash.
Right-handed hitting second baseman will step to the plate for the first time. We followed by Culvers and Haig. Haig hit that home run last year against Post State at Augie. First pitch is taken for strike 1. It is for Fargo. This team is 23-2. The 0-1 is bounced in now 1-1. They went and won every game at the Dakota Classic last year, including beating Pierre 12-0, and then won the championship game over the team in Nebraska. Now 2-1 is the count. One down here in the bottom of the first. Go through the defensive positioning here for Post State after this batter here from Dean to Thrash. That one's grounded back up the middle. Stout cannot dive to make the stop, and it gets into center field for a one-out single. Just underneath the glove of Stout and through for a one-out hit. First hit of the ball game. As it was the first base runner as well here for either side. River Iverson's out in left. Matt Lusk in center field, and Jack Van Camp is in right. Lincoln Keenel's at third. Garrett Stout at short. Andrew Coverdale at second. Andy Gordon's at first. Kane Hinkle behind the plates. Dean will work from the stretch and will step off before the first pitch is delivered to Zach Culvers. First pitch. That one will bounce in. Good stop there by Hinkle. And unable to take second is Thrash. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one misses low now. 2-0 here to the number 3 hitter in Zach Culvers. He should be Clouvers. The 2-0 just misses, now 3-0. And Haig is on deck. Haig, who went 2 for 3 with 5 runs driven in last year against Post State. A dangerous hitter. The 3-0. That one's over for strike 1. And Dean will try and work from now a 3-1 count. Good Pierre crowd here this afternoon here in Watertown. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one will miss, and it's a 1-out walk. And it's first and second here with 1 down. And here's the DH, Cole Haig.
Number 12, Cole Haig.
Haig. Him and Jelly from this past weekend, both those guys look like they're not a stranger to the gym. Probably not a stranger to hitting home runs. Here's the first pitch to Haig. Outside, ball 1 to the DH here in this ball game for Fargo Post 2. First and second with 1 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's out towards left field. Iverson will come over. He'll make the catch. There's now 2 down. That one might have gone off the end of the bat for Haig. But here's Jace Dew now with 2 down, and Bennett Dean ground ball, fly out, get you out of the inning.
Jace Dew.
Jace Dew will swing the bat left-handed against Bennett Dean. We're going to get out of a Well, it wasn't one out first and second. Now 2 down first and second. First pitch is fouled out of play for strike one. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. Post State went 1-2-3 in the top half. Fargo is threatening here in the bottom half of the first. Dean will come set. Here's the 0-1. There's a ground ball to the right side, fielded by Coverdale. And Dean will get out of the first inning on the ground out. No runs, 1 hit,
Score remains 0-0.
no errors, 2 men left on base. 1 complete here in Watertown. Fargo and Pierre tied at 0. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com. Top of the second inning here for Post State, as they will have 4, 5, and 6. Anybody gets on base, first it'll be Iverson, Rasky, Lusk, and then it'll be Kate Hinkle if anybody does reach base here for Post State's in the top of the second. No score between these two teams. Andrew Lynn will finish his warm-up tosses here to start the top of the second. For Post State, they're trying to get back to 10 games over 500. As they fell 3-2 in game 1.
22 for Pierre. River.
Here's River Iverson in game 1 of the day. Went 0 for 2. He reached base after being hit by a pitch, which is not too much of a surprise for Iverson to be hit by a pitch at some point during the day. Lynn will work from the stretch. Here's the first pitch. He'll try and drop down a bunt. He drops it right back to the pitcher in Lynn. He will flip it to the first baseman, and the leadoff man is retired in 1 pitch. Here to open up the top of the second.
Next to the plate, number 11, McGuire Rasky.
Here's McGuire Rasky, as he will get his first swings since he went down the arm injury, which is requiring Tommy John surgery. He can still swing the bat, a la Shohei Ohtani. Oh boy, it'd be great to see Rasky hit the ball like Ohtani. First pitch is taken for strike 1. Ohtani had Tommy John surgery and ended up DHing a little bit last year for the Angels. Did not pitch at all, and now will pitch in 2020 when the season returns. Here's the 1 pitch. Rasky swings and misses, and it's now 0-2. Good to have baseball back here coming towards the end of July. And as it allows, we'll take games courtesy of ESPN throughout the season. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Upstairs now 1-2. Of course, we'll have NBA, NHL games. However, whatever they will have with West courtesy of Westwood One, we'll take those national games whenever they return. And of course, the NFL football season will have all those games as well. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Rasky goes down on strikes. Second strikeout of the ball game for Lynn. There's now 2 down. Here in the top of the second, that'll bring in Matt Lusk.
To the plate, number 5, Matt Lusk.
Andrew Lynn is going to work from the stretch. He's retired the first 5 guys he's faced, and Matt Lusk is trying to end that streak and allow Kate Hinkle to come to the plate. Lynn comes set. Here's the first pitch. That one is missed for ball 1. Lusk went 1 for 3 in game 1. flew out to the center fielder and right fielder, but got a base hit and was stranded at third. On the one time he reached base. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's outside corner, and it's now 1-1. Matt Lusk, as he came in the ball game, coming into the day, coming in 3-0-2. That one's fouled away now. 1-2 here to Matt Lusk. The post 8 team with a .333 batting average coming into today. And, we had Coach Ryan Kruger, the Pierre High School baseball team, on a couple of weeks ago talking about this team and how sad he was that the season didn't actually get going for the high school baseball. The count is now 2-2 here to Lusk. But this team has been working hard since the wintertime to improve what I think most coaches and even the players would describe as a subpar batting. There's a line shot down the third base line, but it'll get foul. And it'll remain at 2-2. And so far, they got 9 hits in game 1, didn't get the win, but they were able to string 9 hits in those 7 innings, and they're hitting the ball a lot better this year. And with .333 batting average as a team, that's improving about 40 points from last year. And something that the high school baseball coaches, although they didn't get a chance for a season now, 3-2, can take some pride in how well this team is hitting. Has been hitting so far this season. Hopefully it continues throughout and going into early August. A chance to play for a state championship. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Lusk will foul it right at the plate, and it will remain at 3-2. River Iverson had a 13-pitch at-bat in game 1 against Watertown. Against the starter Stevenson, who went 6 1/3. Ended up picking up the win. Jack Van Camp, who gave up just 3 hits in the ball game, took the loss in that 3-2 win for Watertown. 3-2 pitch. That one's popped up on the left side. A lot of foul territory here. Chasing after it, but there it is going to get out of play. And it will stay at 3-2. Playing straight up here for Matt Lusk. 2 down here in the top of the second, and there is no score. Both State's still searching for their first base runner. From the stretch, here's the 3-2 pitch. Again at 3-2. So Matt Lusk will again try and be that first base runner. Here for Pierre Post State. The 3-2. One more time from Lynn. Inside, and Matt Lusk will be the first base runner. 2-out walk. And that'll bring in Cade Hinkle. Trying to extend the inning then to Jack Van Camp.
25, Cade Hinkle.
Hinkle in game 1 went 0 for 3. Struck out twice and also grounded back to the pitcher. Had a sacrifice bunt as well that went back to the pitcher, but does not go against the batting average. Hinkle came into the day hitting 302. Excuse me. Hitting 327. So Lynn, who doesn't work too quickly, it takes his time. Retired the first 5 straight. But now Post State trying to take advantage of a 2-out walk. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1 to Cade Hinkle. Lusk leads away from first. Hinkle here at the plate. Pickoff attempt and back in safely as Lusk. Tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock starts. Mitchell and Sturgis will be in town for a triangular. Mitchell and Sturgis will play the second game of the day, and Post State will bookend the 3 games of the triangular. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hinkle grounded foul, now 1-1. 4 o'clock, and will probably end up being more closer to 8:30 or maybe 9 o'clock tomorrow night. We talked about earlier, almost a true day-night doubleheader there for going to be here for Post State. But chance to play at Hyatt Stadium, nothing wrong with that. We'll take a later night at Hyatt Stadium than anywhere else. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Lynn to Hinkle. Lusk takes off. Pitch is low for ball 2. The throw to second, not in time. The catcher in Boutain did not get the ball cleanly out of his glove. And that might have cost their third out right there. And now it's 2-1. And Hinkle with a base hit could give Post State a 1-0 lead. Lusk is now on at second. Lynn Pierce in for the sign. Hill will come set. Here's the 2-1. Outside now 3-1. So the catcher Hinkle. On deck is Jack Van Camp, another left-hander in the order. 3 straight lefties in the order for Post State. Rasky, Lusk, and Hinkle. Excuse me, Lusk is not a left-hand hitter. That one gets into center field. A pickoff attempt. Lusk will take third on the error from the pitcher in Lynn. And there's now a runner on third with 2 down. 3 of the 4 hitters in a row. Rasky, Hinkle, and Van Camp with Lusk in between Rasky and Hinkle. That's what I was trying to say. But the count is 3-1 to Hinkle. Lusk is at third. A base hit will give Post State the lead. The 3-1 pitch. That one's fouled at the plate and off of Hinkle. And it's now a full count to the catcher. Lynn will come set. Here comes the 3-2. One more time. Upstairs, and it's back-to-back walks. And now it's first and second here with 2 down. There's Jack Van Camp. You listen to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station.
Van Camp.
Past the 4 o'clock hour here on this Wednesday afternoon. Started at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Now we play here at 4:11. Runners are at the corners here with 2 down. Van Camp, who threw 6 innings, will get his first chance at the plate here in the top of the second with 2 outs. Lynn will come set from the stretch. He'll deliver the first pitch to Van Camp, taken for strike 1. At first is Hinkle. Third is Lusk. Lynn will get the sign. He'll come set. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Runner is off with a pitch. The throw to second. He'll be cut off. The throw back to the plate. Lusk will dive. He's safe. What a slide from Matt Lusk to get in safely. Hinkle steals second. The throw was offline of the plate. And the catcher couldn't get the tag down on Lusk as he slid in around the tag. And Post State has a 1-0 lead. I believe it was called a strike to Van Camp, and now it's 0-2, and he can't believe it. Boy, that pitch was pretty far outside. But he's down 0-2 in the count, but he does have the lead here, does Post State, 1-0. That's a fantastic slide by Matt Lusk. It's going to get lost in the box score if he doesn't take that up the fair territory of the line. This is now 1-2 as the pitch came in high. If he doesn't go up on fair territory around the catcher, he is out. There's no possible way he's going to get underneath that tag, but he got around the tag, and the catcher in Boutain had no chance because of Lusk's route to the plate. And the slide in safely to give Post State a 1-0 lead. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Jack Van Camp. That one will bounce in. It gets away from the catcher, and Hinkle will dive down head first and belly flop into third base. And there's now a 2-2 count with 2 down. So Hinkle is on at third, trying to get the dirt out of his gloves. He is no longer hungry as he had a face full of dirt. Belly flopping into third base. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one misses inside. Now 3-2. A good job by JVC to get the count from 0-2 to 3-2. Lincoln Keenels is on deck. Post State has done all this without putting a ball. Well, they did put a ball in play for the first out, but they have not put a ball in play to get those base runners. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Van Camp swings and misses. Second strikeout of the inning. Third in the game for Lynn. But no, one run on no hits in the inning, one error, and one man left on base. Post State has opened up a 1-0 lead after an inning and a half. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to the bottom of the second inning, Post State has a 1-0 lead, as it will be 6, 7, and 8. Headley, Holquist, and Khaled to lead things off. Bennett Dean worked around a hit and a walk in the first inning. 6, 7, and 8 for Fargo Post 2.
Bottom of 2. Pierre leads 1-0 to the plate now.
Headley will lead things off.
14,
Again, just Haig and Sandy were the only two guys in the lineup from last year's win of Fargo over Pierre. First pitch to Headley is going to hit him in the back, and the leadoff man is aboard. Here to open up the bottom of the second inning. I'll bring up Mike Holquist, the third baseman.
Number 27, Holquist.
So leadoff man is aboard for the first time here in the ball game for either side. And Fargo has got that tying run already on base. Bennett Dean will have to work from the stretch after just one pitch of the year in the bottom of the second. Here's the first pitch. That one just misses inside. That's 1-0. Luke Khaled is on deck. Danny Boutain would be after him. Here's the 1-0 inside. Now 2-0 here to the number 7 hitter and the third baseman here in game 1 for Fargo. Game 2 here for Post State. The 2-0 pitch. That one's over for strike one. And it's now 2-1 here to Mike Holquist. Keenel's protecting the line over at third. Gordon holding on the runner at first. That is Headley. Here's a 2-1. Outside and high, now 3-1. And Dean in danger of allowing the first two men to reach base. Here in the bottom of the second. 3-1 pitch. That one's skied out in left field. Iverson chasing after it in a foul territory. He's going to track it down. He is going to track it down. He makes the catch. And there's one down. Almost overran it. But he's still able to make the catch. And there's one away here in the bottom of the second. Luke Khaled.
Number 21, Luke Khaled.
Khaled playing first base here for Fargo. One down here in the bottom of the second inning. Post State leads 1-0. Headley will lead away from first. Here's the first pitch over for strike one. Just one hit in the ball game so far for Fargo. No runs, one hit, and one error. Post State with 1 run, no hits, and no errors. That one's popped up on the infield. Lincoln Keenels will call for it on the third base side. He will not make the catch. They still get the guy out at second. The throw will get Headley out at second. So it'll go down as a fielder's choice.
To the plate now for Fargo, number 5.
And Keenels looking straight up in the sun. He took one step and cleat got caught in the grass and didn't make the catch. But with Headley having to stay close to first base, took off for second, and there's really no chance for him to make it to second base anyway. Here's Danny Butane with 2 down. First pitch is taken for strike 1. So after the leadoff hit by a pitch, Benedine trying to work out of that leadoff man reaching base. The 0-1 pitch. Over on the outside corner now, 0-2. And Dean's another guy that really likes to settle in after throwing an inning or two. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Dean will get a 3-pitch strikeout on Butane and end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. We've played 2 complete. Post State leads Fargo 1-0. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Top of the third inning. It is going to be 9-1-2 here for Post State. Lincoln Keenels, Andrew Coverdale, and Garrett Stout. Everybody gets on base as we go back to Andy Gordon, the number 3 hitter, as Andrew Lynn is into the third inning here. He has not surrendered a hit yet, but he is trailing in the ball game 1-0. 2 walks, an error, and a double steal. First from Hinkle getting the second, and then Matt Lusk scoring on the throw to second has allowed Post State to have a 1-0 lead as we play here in the top of the third. Keenels in game 1 went 1 for 3, singled in the third inning, or the 3-2 loss to Watertown.
At the top of 3.
You looked at the standings coming in for Class A, and it was Post State sitting at number 4 at 12-4 against South Dakota teams, and of course, they're 16-7 now. They're 12-5 against South Dakota teams. As Watertown was 7-4, coming in now 8-4. The first pitch to Lincoln Keenels. That one's fouled out of play. So that will most definitely help Watertown. Potentially could move in front of Sioux Falls West to number 6. Where they sit right now, they would host a regional round. And if there's any kind of upsets of the first top 5 seeds, you could see them potentially host a second round. The 0-1 is at the letters now. 0-2 here to the third baseman, number 9 hitter in the ballgame, Lincoln Keenels. Andrew Lynn works from the stretch, whether there's anybody on base or not. Here's the 0-2 on the outside edge and looked out for strike 3. And Keenels will go down on strikes. The fourth strikeout of the ball game for Andrew Lynn. Then it'll go back to the top of the order for Andrew Coverdale. As we get back to the top of the order with 1 down here in the top of the third. Post State still searching for their first hit, although they lead 1-0. Lynn will come set. Here's the first pitch to Coverdale. Is on the outside corner for strike 1. Coverdale grounded out to the second baseman in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1. He's 2 for 5 on the day. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's fouled out of play, now 0-2. As he was well behind that 0-1 fastball. Straight up in the outfield for Coverdale. Hardly any clouds in the sky. Great day for baseball, especially July 1st. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Coverdale out towards right field. Coming in on it will be the right fielder. He'll make the catch and do, and there's now 2 down here in the top of the third. I'm bringing Garrett Stout, who flew out to the right fielder in his first at-bat.
Garrett Stout.
He's 0 for 1 here in the ball game. 1 for 4 so far. 1 for 5 so far in the day. Stout will dig in. Lynn will come set. Here's the first pitch to Garrett Stout. Upstairs for ball 1. I remind you, on Friday and Saturday, have 6 games. The last 6 national championship college football games will be aired right here on today's KCCR. The 1-0 is upstairs now, 2-0, starting at 11 o'clock on Friday. Take it all the way through the 10 o'clock hour or into the 10 o'clock hour on Friday. It'll be followed up after the parade on Saturday. Finish out the day with 3 straight national championship games. 2-1s that cut on and missed, now 2-1. All those 6 college football and national championships since the college football playoff has started. We'll have all 6 of those. Count is 2-1 here to Stout. Lynn will come set. Here is the 2-1 pitch. Upstairs now 3-1. There was 2 outs when Matt Lusk drew a walk. Kane Hinkle also walked. A steal from Hinkle. Lusk was able to score. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Stout will sky it out into right field as the second baseman will go to the edge of the infield grass to actually make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. 2.5 are complete. Post State's they lead 1-0 over Fargo. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, it is the top of the order for Fargo Post 2.
That's bottom 3. The score remains 1-0.
Zach Sandy, Tyler Thrash, and Zach Bluvers.
Zach Sandy.
Sandy's 0 for 1. He flew out to the left fielder, Iverson. He's been pretty busy out there. He's recorded 3 of the 6 outs so far. First pitch is outside for ball 1 to Zach Sandy. It is 1, 2, and 3 here for Fargo. Bennett Dean will deliver the 1-0 pitch. Outside the corner now, 1-1. Dean has worked around a hit single and a hit by pitch so far through the 2 innings. The 1-1 is on the inside corner, is now 1-2. Well, I don't blame Sandy for backing away like he thought it was going to hit him, because to me it looked like he was going to hit him, and the umpire called it strike 2. So now here is the 1-2 pitch. That one will bounce in now, 2-2. I know we're just a little bit off it. The mound of home plate looks a little bit off kilter. It was probably just where we're sitting at right here. The 2-2 pitch. Bounces in now 3-2. And Dean trying to keep that leadoff man from being aboard for the second straight inning. Here's a 3-2. Foul away, and a good job by Sandy to spoil that 3-2 pitch. And Bennett Dean will have to at least throw one more. Here's the 3-2 one more time. There's a ground ball, high chopper to Coverdale. The throw to first is in time. That one hit the edge of the lip there right in front of the plate and just skied up to Coverdale, and the leadoff man is retired.
Tyler Thrash.
Here in the bottom of the third inning. I don't think Coverdale will get an easier ground ball hit towards him. That one looked like it could have had some speed. Instead, just hit that lip, popped straight up. Here's Tyler Thrash. He singled in his first at-bat. First pitch is outside for ball one. He's got the only hit of the ball game so far for either side. Over 2.5 innings played. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one is inside now. 2-0 here to the second baseman. Post State has a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. 2-0 pitch. That one's taken for strike one. Fargo 23-2 on the season. Winners of 10 straight. Here's the 2-1. That one's chopped off the front of the mound. That was a high hop for Stout, and there's now 2 down. Boy, if that one doesn't take the hop off the mound, that's probably easily through for a base hit. But that high hop, it hit the bottom of the front of the mound and just skied up in the air again. And Stout got a nice charitable hop to him. And they'll bring in Zach Kluvers with 2 down. So 2 hard-hit ground balls that have taken fortuitous hops to the middle infielders. For the first 2 to be retired, the first pitch is missed low and outside for ball 1 to Kluvers. He walked in his first trip. He was stranded at first in the bottom of the first inning. He bats with 2 down here with nobody on base in the bottom of the third. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's over for strike one. For Post State in the top of the fourth, there'll be 3, 4, and 5. Gordon, Iverson, and Raskey. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul tip in the middle of Hinkle. It's now 1-2. That pitch was upstairs. And Kluvers offered at it. Dean from the windup. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Kluvers. Just a bit outside and low. 2-2 now. Dean's looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Here in the bottom of the third. Here comes the 2-2 from Dean. Outside now 3-2. On deck is Cole Haig, who, if he gets a chance to hit in this inning, could give Fargo a lead with one swing of the bat. Dangerous with the bat. 3-2. There's a line shot. That one's going to get down for a base hit, and it's going to roll up towards the wall in the corner. Iverson will cut it off. The throw into second, and it's a 2-out double for Kluvers. And he is in scoring position. Here's Cole Haig, who flew out to the left fielder Iverson in his first at-bat. Haig and then followed by Dew. Bennett Dean trying to work around that 2-out double. Second time they've had a man in scoring position as Fargo. First pitch is missed upstairs. Looked like a breaking ball that didn't break. 1 ball, no strikes here, too. The DH, the cleanup hitter, Cole Haig. That one is just outside now, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's chopped foul, and it's now 2-1. Haig in that first at-bat. He got off the end of the bat to Iverson. Like he put a pretty good swing on it, but didn't get all of it. Here's the now 2-1. That one's at the knees, and now 2-2. And Dean again a strike away from getting a scoreless third. Dean will peer in. He'll come set. Here's a 2-2. Misses low, now 3-2. Haig will wait on the 3-2 from Dean. That one misses, and it's a 2-out walk. With the base open, that might not have been the worst decision right there.
Number 8, Jace Dew.
Here's Jace Dew. He grounded the second baseman Coverdale to end the bottom of the first inning. He's got a chance. Dean has a chance to make him end the bottom of the third as well. Left-handed hitting right fielder. First pitch to him is inside for ball one. Rasky's already getting ready to hit. He's going to bat second. The DH got a helmet and bat in his hand. Here's the 1-0. That one's over for strike one. And evens the count with 2 down. Runner at first and second. 2 down here in the bottom of the third. The 1-1 pitch. That one will bounce in. A good block by Hinkle. Keeps those runners at first and second. Count is now 2-1. 2 hits in the ball game so far for Fargo. Thrash picked one up in the first. Kluver's at second. He picked up the other one. 2-1. There's a ground ball. The right side again for Coverdale. He'll field, and Bennett Dean will have 3 scoreless innings against Fargo. That's the second time that Dew has ended the inning on a ground ball to the second baseman Coverdale. No runs, 1 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. 3 completes here at leads Fargo 1-0. Listen to Post-State Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is As we welcome you back here for the top of the 4th inning, as Post-States will have 3, 4, and 5. Andy Gordon, River Iverson, McGuire Rasky. And if anybody gets on base, it'll go to Matt Lusk. Post-State has a 1-0 lead as we play in the top of the 4th inning. They have not recorded a hit yet so far in the first 3 innings, but they did score the game's only run so far. 2 walks by Lynn. And a double steal, which Hinkle took off for second. The throw came to the shortstop, who threw it up the third base line, and Lusk was able to dive around the catcher to score the game's only run. First pitch to Gordon's outside for ball one. He struck out looking to end the top of the first inning, did Gordon. As he is 3 for 5 on the day. Went 3 for 4 in game 1 against Watertown. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Gordon swings and misses, and now 1-1. Gordon with 17 runs driven in. Team high, 17 runs. Up and down the lineup, you look at how Post-State has done. They spread out the wealth fairly well. The 1-1 is ground to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Thrash, and the leadoff man will be sent down here to open up the top of the 4th. You look at Post-State's, their stats here. They've had 123 runs driven in.
River Iverson.
And 5 guys have gotten 10-plus runs driven in. Gordon's actually got 18 runs driven in now. Him and Stout, 15-plus. Zabel's actually got 15 now, too. Coverdale, even that leadoff spot, has got 14 runs driven in. First pitch is fouled away.
Just a reminder, those foul balls, bring them to the crow's nest for a piece of candy.
Then Matt Lusk with 13 runs driven in. They spread the wealth around. Not just one guy that has to get all the runs driven in up and down the lineup. You look at Matt Lusk, who is going to be 2 more batters away, but he's hitting 6. He usually hits 6, 7, somewhere around there. Now 2-1 to River Iverson, with 1 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Lynn will come sets. Here's the 2-1. There's a fly ball out towards left field. Going back on as the center fielder into the gap, and he'll make the catch. And Headley, and there's now 2 down here in the top of the 4th. And here's McGuire Rasky.
To the center fielder, to the plate, number 11, McGuire Rasky.
Rasky is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat. The left-hander will dig in. Just his second at-bat. It's nearly, 3 weeks ago. Left the game after the first inning on the mound. Needs Tommy John surgery to pitch again. Has not gotten it yet. We'll see, and we'll see what the decision is. You know, it's tough for a multiple sport athlete. You know, what you really want to do, especially going into your senior year. You want to play football? Do you want to not play? If you get the surgery, you can't play football. 2-0 is the count here to Rasky. If you don't get the surgery, you won't be able to pitch next year. If you get the surgery after the football season, the baseball senior year is done. 2-0, taken for strike 1. So haven't heard what the decision is, what he will do, but he's in the lineup as a DH. And he's ahead in the count, 2-1 to Andrew Lynn. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Rasky will ground it off the hands, back up the middle. Shortstop will field the throw to first. Is in time, the first baseman, and Acala just able to keep his foot on the bag. And will end the inning. And that will retire the side here in the top of the 4th. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We have played 3.5. Post State leads 1-0 over Fargo. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Kate Headley will lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Post State has a 1-0 lead. First pitch is popped up on the infield. Stout will call for it. And he will make the catch, and there's 1 pitch and 1 out. That was a major league pop-up there on the infield. That took forever to come down.
After the fly out to shortstop.
And that'll bring up Mike Holquist.
Number 27, Mike Holquist.
Holquist flew out to the left fielder, Iverson, in his first at-bat. Playing third base here in the first game for Fargo. Dean will work from the windup here. The first pitch to the third baseman, Holquist, is outside for ball 1. Luke Callett is on deck. It was 6, 7, and 8. First man is retired in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-0 is on the corner now, 1-1. Umpire as well, given that corner, the outside corner for these pitchers. Here's the 1-1. That one's chopped at the plate. Is it going to stay fair? It will go foul. And that ball almost rolled back fair. Hinkle and Keenels did not touch it. That ball was about another inch away from rolling back fair. Holquist took off for first, then stopped after the ball was in the grass, and then it rolled off the grass and just didn't have enough momentum to get back into fair territory. That would have been very interesting what would have happened there. 2-1 pitch, the 1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball on the left side. That was a backhanded stop by Stout. He got his glove on it, but did not stop it cleanly. And it's a one-out single, infield single for Mike Hallquist. And the third hit of the ball game for
number 21,
Fargo.
Collin.
I'll bring up Luke Callan. One down here in the bottom of the fifth inning. First pitch outside for ball one. Play here in the bottom of the fourth. Post State and Fargo. 1-0 is the score for Pierre. 1-0 pitch. Bounced in the dirt and a good stop there by Hinkle. Now 2-0. Danny Boutain is the catcher on deck. The number 9 hitter. Here's the 2-0. Inside corner, and it's now 2-1. Dean comes set. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one's at the letters now, 2-2 here. To the number 8 hitter, and Luke Callan. Hallquist will lead away from first. Here's a 2-2. That one's out towards right. Van Camp will go to his left and make the catch, and there's now 2 down. His first chance out there in right field. And that'll bring up Danny Boutain, who struck out swinging in his first plate appearance.
Next batter, number 5, Danny Boutain.
2 down at bottom of the fourth. Post State playing some pretty good baseball so far through 3 2/3 innings. Dean again after the one-out infield single, trying to work out around another man reaching base. First pitch is outside for ball one. He has not had a 1-2-3 inning so far. Assuming he gets out of this fourth inning as it is, but in the 4 innings that he's going to throw, for sure, he has not had a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Boutain. That one's popped up on the left side. Stout into shallow left field. We'll call for it. He'll make the catch, and that will end the inning. Here in the bottom of the fourth. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We have played 4. Post State leads 1-0. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com. Top of the 5th inning for Post State as they lead it 1-0. They will have 6, 7, and 8. Matt Lusk, Cade Hinkle, Jack Van Camp. If he might reach his base, it'll go back to Lincoln Keenel as the number 9 hitter. Andrew Lynn is into his 5th inning. He is, again, not allowed a hit through 4 innings, but he, right now, if the game would end, obviously you have to get through the 5th inning, but through 4 innings, he'd be the losing pitcher without giving up a single base hit, allowing just 2 base runners in the game, and yet he finds himself down 1-0, which brings me to the point of Major League Baseball when they get back to playing again and they go to extra innings, they start a man on second base. So, and that run will not be charged to any pitcher, whether it's no matter who is in the ball game.
Matt Lusk.
It will not get charged to the pitcher if that runner at second scores. So what they're saying is that in the scorebook, you could throw a perfect game and lose 1-0 in 10 if you go to 10 innings. First pitch is taken for strike 1 to Matt Lusk because that runner at second did not reach base on an error, a walk, or a hit. He's just on second, and you bunt him over to third, sacrifice fly out to left field or a ground ball, whatever it might be, and then to get the next guy out, it's now 1-1 to Matt Lusk. That's a inning without anybody reaching base, but they still scored a run. You don't score in the bottom of the 10th inning, oh, you lose 1-0 in a perfect game. There's a line shot and a great catch by the third baseman, Hallquist. That ball looked like it was about to come out of his glove as he reached back behind his head to retire Lusk. I don't think you can hit the ball any harder than what Matt Lusk did, and Hallquist circled around the back of his head and he was able to make the catch. And boy, that you could see the wide of the ball about to sneak out of his glove, but he was able to keep it in for the first out. First pitch is upstairs for ball one. An impressive catch over there by the third baseman, Hallquist. Lynn will come sets. Here's the first pitch the 1-0 pitch to Hinkle. Upstairs, 2-0. Hinkle drew a walk. His first plate appearance, he stole second. That was when Matt Lusk came around to score the game's only run. Boy, that was close to that first hit of the ball game for Post State. 2-0 is missed low, now 3-0. So they are still hitless in here in the top of the fifth. One down. Lynn will come set. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That one is over at the letters, now 3-1. I don't know if you can catch on what I'm doing. I'm not really saying anything. I'm just saying that Post State hasn't had a hit yet. Through 4 and a third. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Hinkle will launch that one to right field. Going back to the right fielder, and he'll make the catch. Will do, and there's now 2 down. Tracking it down, going near the corner. That Hinkle played perfectly out and right. That'll bring up Jack Van Camp, who struck out swinging in the second inning.
Van Camp.
2 down here at the top of the fifth inning. Van Camp will get his second at-bats. Left-hander waits on the first pitch from Andrew Lynn. He'll pop that one up and foul out of play. And it's 0-1 to the right fielder here in game 2 for Post State. As the umpire wanting more baseballs sent over to him. Tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock starts. Post State will host a triangular, Mitchell and Sturgis. And they'll play the second game with those two teams, and Post State will bookend that triangular at 4 and around 8:30, maybe closer to 9 o'clock. It's going to be a late night at Hyde Stadium. But hey, it's about just basically the weekend for the 4th of July. A lot of people will be off on Friday, so why not spend the late Thursday night up over at Hyde Stadium. 1-1 is upstairs now, 2-1 to Jack Van Camp. Of course, bring the headphones along. Bring those earpieces so you can listen to the game on today's KCCR, today'skccr.com. 2-1. That one will be bounced in, now 3-1. As Mitchell and Sturgis will be those two teams. We already split against Mitchell to open up the season. Have not played Sturgis. Did not play them last year either. They were in the region tournament, but were eliminated by Post 320. As Van Camp launches that one to right, but it'll be fouled. It's now 3-2. And again, this year, much different situation getting to the state tournament. And it will be mostly that going forward. Next year, we'll just play one region round of a best of 3. And then the 8 winners will go to the state tournament, or I guess the 7 winners will go to the state tournament, as Van Camp will be walked.
Just a reminder,
and it'll be Lincoln Keenels now that will come to the plates.
Need your help, folks. Thanks.
Keenels is 0 for 1. He struck out looking. Time is called, and that might be it for the starter in Lynn. Going 4 2/3 without giving up a hit. Thought we saw a call to the pin over there in right field. Be the end of the day for Andrew Lynn. And we'll have a new pitcher coming in. We'll step aside for a minute, tell you who it is. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today's KCCR, today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to Watertown, as we are in the top of the fifth inning with a runner on second and 2 outs, as Andrew Lynn has been lifted from the ball game. Sam Mosier is on the pitch, and we'll try and keep the no-hitter alive as well, as Lynn was lifted after giving up his third walk of the game. He only allowed 3 base runners, did Lynn. No hits in the game, 3 walks. He struck out 4 guys in the ball game. He still is responsible for Jack Van Camp, who's over at first base, but he has at least given up that 1 run so far, as Mosier takes over on the mound for Fargo Post 2. Lincoln Keenels will be the first man to greet him. And for Post State, trying to take advantage of another 2-out walk, what they did back in the second inning.
For Pierre, number 7, Lincoln Keenels.
Here's Lincoln Keenels. He was 0 for 1. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. Trying to extend the inning to Andrew Coverdale. Lynn will look for Mosier to finish out this inning and close the book on his day. First pitch to Keenels will bounce in for ball 1. Keenels coming in with a 164 batting average today. He's only drawn 1 walk. He'll fly that out towards center field, going back onto the center fielder, and he will make the catch, Will Headley, and that will end the inning here in the top of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. 4.5 is complete. We have a 1-0 lead for Post State. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Bottom of the 5th inning. Post State leads 1-0. The top of the order, Zach Sandy, Tyler Thrash, and Zach Kluvers.
We're at the bottom of 5. Pierce still leading 1-0.
And the leadoff man, Sandy, will lead off for the 3rd time in a row in the 3 at-bats. We saw Coverdale lead off his 4 at-bats. Or in his 4 at-bats, he led off each time he came to the plate. The 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th. He'll try and bunt his way on, Will Sandy, and that one is bunted foul for strike 1. Sandy's 0 for 2. He flew out to left field in his first at-bat and ground out to the second baseman in Coverdale. That was part of that 3rd inning where the first 2 guys hit some hard choppers that popped up in the air. The 0-1 pitch is upstairs now, 1-1. Dean's given up 3 hits so far. He has walked 2 guys and hit a man. 1-1 is fouled out of play, now 1-2. As he has thrown 11, his last 11 innings have been very good for Post State. Looks to continue that trend. Here's the 1-2, curveball over for strike 3. And down on strikes goes Sandy for the first out. Second strikeout of the ball game for Bennett Dean.
Number 6, Tyler Thrash.
Here's Tyler Thrash. He's 1 for 2. Singled in the first. Had a chopper right back to the mound that hit the bottom of the mound and popped straight up again. And gave a hop for Garrett Stout to make the play. First pitch to Thrash is outside for ball 1. Kluvers is on deck. He's the number 3 hitter. He is 1 for 1. The 1-0 pitch. There's a ground ball to Stout again. Over on the left side, a little bit tougher of a hop to play, but still an easy play for Stout to make. There's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th, and that'll bring in the number 3 hitter, and Zach Kluvers. He walked in the first, he doubled in the third, but was stranded at second base in that 3rd inning. So far, Fargo has stranded 6 guys, 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 in the 2nd and 4th. First 2 men have been retired here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the first pitch to Kluvers. Over for strike 1. Dean's still looking for that first 1, 2, 3 inning of the day. The 0-1 is bounced in, now 1-1. Dean from the windup. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Grounded foul right over the top of the third base coach. And it's now 1-2. I don't know if third base coach even saw that until after it's too late. So the count is 1-2. Dean a strike away from going 5 scoreless. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball that actually hits the bat. I think it hit the bat. Maybe it didn't. It's now 2-2. It almost sounded like it went off the bat, but here's the 2-2 pitch. Upstairs now 3-2. Cole Haig is on deck. Here's the 3-2. Upstairs just misses, and for the 3rd time in a row, Kluvers is on base for Haig.
After the base on balls, heading to the plate. Number 12, Cole Haig.
Haig flew out to left field in the first. He walked in the 3rd. He's looking for his first base hit. Dean's looking to get out of this inning. First pitch is at the letters for strike 1 to Cole Haig. He thought it was a little high to him, but we'll dig back in, down 0-1 the count. Here's the 0-1. Over on the outside corner, now 0-2. And maybe put this one just a little bit higher. Maybe put it right at the eyeballs. The fastball upstairs. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A pitch in the dirt, and Haig goes down on strikes. And that will end the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Post State leads Fargo 1-0. You listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Top of the 6th inning. Post State's, they lead 1-0. Mosier, who threw the final 3rd of an inning in that top of the 5th. Him and Lynn are working on a combined no-hitter here in the top of the 6th inning. It is top of the order. Andrew Coverdale, Garrett Stout, and Andy Gordon. It's just this is the 6th time that Coverdale's come to the plate to lead off an inning. Of course, he's guaranteed to lead off 2 innings. Yeah, of game 1 and game 2. Lead off the ball game. But here's the first pitch to Coverdale. He'll swing at the first pitch and hit it over the first right side of the second baseman and thrash, and 1 pitch and 1 out, and here to open up the top of the 6th. Coverdale wouldn't like that pitch back. Didn't really want a full swing on that one.
Garrett Stout.
Now here's Garrett Stout. He's 0 for 2. He flew out to the right fielder and popped out of the second baseman. Just one hit so far between the two games for Stout. Here's the first pitch. Over for strike one to Stout. Here in the top of the sixth inning, 1-0 is our score. Pierre leads over Fargo Post 2. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Curveball that drops in for strike two and is now 0-2 here. The number 2 hitter, Garrett Stout. Only 3 base runners so far. Lusk, Hinkle, and Van Camp have walked. That's 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Stout, a good job to fight that one off. And it'll remain at 0-2. Mosier will work from the windup. He'll deliver the 0-2 pitch to the shortstop, Garrett Stout. It's on its way. And it'll almost hit Stout in the foot, but it's now 1-2. Andy Gordon is on deck. Here comes the 1-2 from Mosier to Stout. Bounces in, now 2-2. And a good job by Garrett Stout to even the count up at 2 apiece. Stout looking for just his second hit today. Went 1 for 4 in game 1. He's 0 for 2 here. Here's the 2-2. Outside, 3-2. And at least reach base just for the second time. There comes the 3-2 from Mosier to Stout. And that was fouled at the plate down the third base line. And it's now 3-2. Stout was way out in front of it, but was able to still fight it off the second time that had a 2-strike protect swing. Count is full still. Mosier delivers the payoff pitch. Stout down the first base line, fielded by the first baseman, Khaled, and he'll step on the bag for the out. 3 unassisted, and there's now 2 down, and Stout's 0 for 3.
Batter's box now.
Here's Andy Gordon.
Andy Gordon.
So Gordon will step to the plate with 2 down here at the top of the 6th inning. Still, Post State looking for that first hit. First pitch from Mosier to Gordon. That will hit Gordon. Well, he is hit. He did not get a hit. But there's now order on first with 2 away. That was a little bit easier to take for Gordon, getting hit in the arm than getting hit in the face.
To the plate, number 22, River.
Here's River Iverson. And if you didn't hear the game on Saturday, Andy Gordon didn't get hit in the face. And, well, he got to get out of the game, but he was completely fine. First pitch to Iverson. That was laced to the second baseman. A jumping catch by Thrash to retire the side here in the 6th. No runs, no hits again, and no errors. 1 man left on base. 5.5 are complete. Post State still without a hit, but they lead Fargo 1-0. You listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Five, 6, and 7 here for Fargo in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jace Dew, Caden Henley, and Mike Holquist to lead things off. They 1-0 lead for Post State. Dew's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts to cover down the right side at second base. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Post State leads 1-0 without recording a base hit so far. The 1-0 is outside now, 2-0. Bennett Dean into his sixth inning of work. Only allowing 3 hits so far, 2-0 pitch. That one's over for strike one. Fargo has left 7 men on base so far through 5 innings. Here's the 2-1 that will bounce in front of Finkel. He gets to the backstop now, 3-1. Conversely, on the other side, Post State has only gotten 4 base runners. And they have left just 3 men on base. 3-1 pitch, ground ball to the right side. That one takes a high hop. Gordon into right field for a base hit. Leadoff man is aboard. And that one is got to be ruled a hit because Andy Gordon had that played perfectly, and that one just took a hop that went over his head and past the glove for a base hit. And here is Headley. So 4th hit in the ball game. Fargo post 2. Headley, who's 0 for 1, he got hit by a pitch, and he also popped out to Stout on the left side of the infield. He will bat here in the bottom of the 6th with a runner on first and nobody out. He'll try and bunt the ball down the third baseline. Keynoles will field. The throw to first is going to be in time, and a good job all the way around. Good sacrifice bunt, good play from Lincoln Keynoles. And there's now one down here in the bottom of the 6th. Mike Holquist will come to the plate. It's just the 3rd time a runner has reached second base. We have not seen a runner reach 3rd in this ball game except for Matt Lusk and Cade Hinkle. Lusk scored. Hinkle is stranded at 3rd. So here's Mike Holquist. Made a terrific play in the 5th inning, top of the 5th, to lead things off, robbing Matt Lusk of a base hit. He is 1 for 2. First pitch on the outside corner, strike 1 to Holquist. This is number 7 in the order. Luke Kallett is on deck. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a line shot. That was down for a base hit, and it'll be fielded by Lusk. The throw. They're going to try and score. Stout will throw home. They're going to get him at the plate, and there's now 2 down and a runner at second. Runner in due, and he was thrown out by a mile. A good play, good throw from Lusk to Stout, and Stout threw it a strike to home. And a single from Holquist. He takes second on the throw, and they'll gladly allow Holquist to take second because they gunned down due at the plate. 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And here is Luke Kallett. Kallett's first pitch to him is over for strike 1. He's 0 for 2. He grounded into a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. He also flew out to right field here in the 4th. Here's the 0-1. Inside, almost gets Kallett. Kallett's now 1-1. 2 hits in the inning. First time we've seen 2 hits in an inning by either side. Well, we've only seen hits by one side so far. 1-1 is fouled back. And it's now 1-2. That one actually got just past the netting, hit the canopy, and comes down into the stands here. So the count is now 1-2 with 2 down. Dean, 1-2, out towards left field. Iverson going back on it, still going back. He'll make the catch, and there's 6 shutout innings for Bennett Dean. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. 6 are in the books. Post State's looking to get their first hit of the ball game, but they lead Fargo 1-0. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Top of the 7th inning. Post State's looking for their first hit of the ball game. It'll start with McGuire Rasky, Matt Lusk, and Cade Hinkle. Yeah, they're trying for that first hit of the ball game in the top of the 7th inning, but they have a chance to win it no matter what happens in this top of the 7th because they're winning 1-0. They got 2 walks in an inning and a double steal with Hinkle taking second, and then on the steal, the throw went to the second base or the shortstop, and Lusk was able to score on that. And that's all the scoring we've had so far. Post State has stranded 3 guys on base. Fargo has stranded now 8 guys on base. They have 5 hits in the ball game, but no runs to show for it. Here's the first pitch to McGuire Rasky. Well, it's taken for strike 1. An insurance run would be huge for Post State. Trying to shut the door on Fargo Post 2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 0-1 is missed low, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Mosier to McGuire Rasky. There's a chopper to the left side, fielded by Holquist. The throw to first, and that will retire the leadoff man. Here in the top of the 7th inning, that'll bring in Matt Lusk.
5-3 put out, brings to the plate.
Lusk and Hinkle. They're 2 of the 4 guys that have reached base. They reached back-to-back times. The only time that Post State had 2 base runners in an inning. There's a walk to Jack Van Cam in the 5th. He was stranded at first. And Gordon was hit by a pitch last inning. He was stranded at first. Hinkle was stranded at third. Lusk is the only score so far for Post State. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Well, you take a win, how you can get them. They still got work to do in the bottom of the 7th, but it's one of those things where in this ball game you're not too happy with how the bats have been, but you're kind of just holding your breath. Count as 1-1. Here's a 1-1 from Mosier. Swing and a miss by Lusk, now 1-2. 4 2/3 for Andrew Lynn. Gave up just that 1 earned run. He didn't have an error in the inning that allowed Lusk to get to third base. Still counts as an earned run against him, but no hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, 2-2. Just didn't, excuse me, 1-2. Oh, that was 2-2. Umpire first put up, the count was 1-2, then changed his mind. Realized it was 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Lusk off the end of the bats. It's going to stay foul, and just at the last second, the catcher, Boutain, running up the line, had to grab it because that spin and hit the lip was starting to roll back fair. And just did not get the ball to get back in fair territory for Les to get an infield single. So it's still 2-2 to the center fielder, Matt Lusk. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball over left side. That's foul, and Coach White just couldn't grab that foul ball. Thought maybe he was going to dive for it for a second. Put a lot of effort into that ground ball. You don't see that too many third base coaches. 2-2 pitch again. There's a ground ball on the left side. That will be fielded by the shortstop in Kluvers, and that will be now 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. And it's up to Cade Hinkle to keep the inning alive and to try and get Post State's first base hit of the ball game.
Number 25, Cade Hinkle.
So here is Cade Hinkle with 2 down here in the top of the 7th. Mosier will work from the windup here with 2 down in the top of the 7th inning. Here is the first pitch to Hinkle. That one's outside for ball 1. Fargo will have 9-1-2 to lead off the 7th inning. Needing at least 1 run. Right now, needing at least 1 run. The 1-0 is missed low, now 2-0. Well, Post State lost 3-2, out hitting Watertown 9-3 in the game. in game one. Right now they're getting out hit 5-0, and they lead 1-0. 2-0 pitch. Hinkle out towards center field. The center fielder going back on it, and Headley, Shane the Sun, he'll make the catch. And 7 no-hit innings for Fargo Post 2. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. Can Post State win it while being no hits? They lead 1-0 going to the bottom of the 7th. Listen to Post State Baseball. Today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Benedine has 14 pitches to work with. He's got 91 so far. 105 is the max. He can go past that to finish out a batter, but that's all he can do. So he's got to have at least 100 or at most 104 with 2 outs in the inning to try and finish out a complete game against this Fargo Post 2 team. A.J. Gayden getting warmed up in the bullpen down in left field.
Number 5, Fargo, Danny.
Here's Danny Butane. 9-1-2 for Fargo. Trying to avoid their 3rd loss of the season. 23-2 so far here in the season. They're down 1-0. First pitch is bounced in for ball 1. So again, Dean has to have at least 2 outs and at most 104 pitches to try and finish out the ball game. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one will also bounce in, now 2-0. So he is now down to 12 more pitches here. Gayden's got to probably work pretty quick. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's over for strike 1. Butane is 0 for 2. He struck out swinging and also popped out the shortstop in the 4th. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one will miss, now 3-1. On deck is Zach Sandy, who's 0 for 3. Here's the 3-1 to the number 9 hitter. Butane will draw a leadoff walk, and the tying run is aboard here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
After base on balls, to the plate.
Here is Zach Sandy.
Zach Sandy.
Flew out to left, ground out to the second baseman, and struck out looking. And with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th, would expect, as the Sandy goes down to talk to the third base coach, would almost expect him to bunt the ball to try and get that tying run over to second base. Especially being 0 for 3, Thrash and Kluvers each have a hit, would be the next 2 hitters. And the man is off for second as that ball gets above the glove of Cade Hinkle, which was going to be a bunt attempt from Sandy, but it gets to the backstop and is now 1-0, and that tying run is advanced 90 feet and in scoring position. And now Sandy, if he drops down a bunt, could move that runner within 90 feet of tying the ball game up. Here's the first pitch, the 1-0 pitch upstairs, now 2-0. And Coach White will make a long walk from the third base dugout out to the mound. He will be met by Cade Hinkle out there. It's a long walk. I mean, the third base dugout's a far walk away. Both dugouts are pretty far, but I think third base has got the farthest walk. And it's well in foul territory. Got plenty of reaction time over there at third. Count is 2-0. Coach White trying to calm down calm down Dean just a bit. A.J. Gayden loosening up in the bullpen to try and close this out against Fargo Post 2. Post State would either, if they don't win the ball game here the 7th, they've got to try and get to the 8th inning so they don't get no hit in a loss. They could get no hit in a win as they lead 1-0 right now here at 2-0 count to Zach Sandy. Sandy's 0 for 3 again. 2-0 is the count. Dean from the stretch. Here's the 2-0. Upstairs 3-0. And I would think that if Dean does not throw a strike here, or I guess ends up just walking Sandy, that this will be his final batter. Here's the 3-0. That one's over for strike one. It's a big important out here. Eh? Granted, there's base open at first, so you can get the double play set back up in order. Here's the 3-1 pitch, but you really don't like to put the winning run on base. Now 3-2. Although he is at the plate, will be at the plate unless there's a double play turn at any point. With less than 2 outs, obviously. Here's the 3-2 pitch now. There's a fly ball out towards left center field. That one's going to get down. That's going to tie the ball game up all the way to the wall in left center. It's a double, and it's a tie ball game. And the winning run is just at second base now, as that will probably close the book on Bennett Dean. 6th of the ball game turns into an RBI double for Sandy. And here comes A.J. Gayden into the ball game to try and keep this a 1-1 score with that winning run at second with nobody out. Back in a minute. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today's KCCR. Today's KCCR.com. Bottom of the 7th here for Post 8 as they have to work around. First 2 men reaching base. The game is tied 1. Runner at second is Zach Sandy. He is the potential winning run as Fargo Post 2 has tied the game up. A.J. Gayden is on the pitch to try and keep this a 1-1 score to send it into extra innings. He'll have to deal with 2, 3, and 4 and have to keep that runner at least at second, at most third base.
To the plate for Fargo.
Tyler Thrash. Thrash is 1 for 3. Single bag in the first. He's grounded to Stout the other 2 times. 2 down, or 1, nobody out here. Trying to bunt. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. 1-1 tie. Post State's trying to keep this ball game alive, sending in the 8th inning. Thrash will bunt this one back to the mound. Gayden will not be able to field it cleanly, and it's now first and third with nobody out. And there's the first error of the ball game, first error of the day for Post State. And here's Zach Kluvers, the number 3 hitter. Infield's got to come all the way in. Right now you can't turn a double play to get out of the inning. You have to come in. You can even just let that guy at first take third, and Stout and Coverdale are still playing back up the middle. They can't do that. They got to play all the way in. First pitch over for strike 1. Game is tied 1-1, and a double play doesn't get out of the inning. They allow him to take second if Thrash wants to go. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's popped up, and the throw has got to come home. Matt Lusk will come over for it. He'll make the catch. The runner does not go. The throw is a perfect one to Andy Gordon. And now the middle can go back for a double play, although you still maybe think about playing in just in case. You can't expect a double play. But there's one down here in the bottom of the seventh. And here is Cole Haig. He walked in the third, struck out swinging in the fifth, and also flew out to the left fielder. And they are going to intentionally walk Haig to load the bases and bring up Jace Dew.
Intentional walk for bases loaded.
Not a bad decision there from Coach White. You get the bases loaded, force out any base, a ground ball anywhere on the middle or the corners or back to the mound, go home with it. Maybe start a 1-2-3 double play or a 3-2-3, 5-2-3, whatever it might be. In the middle, a ground ball. You can start a 6-4-3, 4-6-3, whatever it might be to try and get out of this inning. First pitch to do is outside for ball one. But the last thing you want is a walk-off walk. So you have to go right at Dew. No margin for error. Find a way to get him out. There's a line shot through the hole on the right side, and that's the ball game. Fargo will no-hit Post State, and they win 2-1, scoring both runs in the bottom of the seventh inning.
Nice base wrap for score.
And Post State gets swept here in the two games, and no hits in the second ball game. They lose 2-1. Back in 2 minutes to wrap this one up. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today it's KCCR, and today it's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to Watertown, Post State is swept here today as they lose 3-2 and 2-1, as it was a walk-off single in the bottom of the seventh inning by Jason Dew, his second hit of the ball game. 7 hits for Fargo. They scored 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, left 8 men on base. Post State had 1 run on no hits, 1 error, and they left 3 men on base. So they lose in a no-hitter. Had a chance to win in the bottom of the seventh, just did not get the shutout win. And they are now 16-8 on the season and dropped 4 of the last 6 games after they went 2-2 this past weekend and now 0-2 here tonight. They will face Mitchell and Sturgis tomorrow at home at Hyde Stadium. 4 o'clock will start games, and then it will be at 8:30, most likely right around that time for that second game as they will try and get those 2 wins going into the 4th of July weekend and get back to 10 games over 500. That'll wrap things up for us here at Watertown. Thanks to Spencer Kelly and Jacob Meyer at the station. You've been listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR. Today's KCCR.com. Final scores once again. It is Watertown. They beat Post State 3-2. And then Fargo, they walk off Post State 2-1 as we say goodnight from Watertown. See ya.